From the Front Range of the Rocky Mountains in beautiful Colorado, it is Wednesday, October 14th, 2020, and this is Truly News. I am your host, Jason Van Sickle. I hope that you had a great day yesterday. It is a new day, and let's start things off by getting smarter and better informed about the world by reviewing today's news. As always, we start with a look at the top headlines from across the country. The top headlines at most news agencies are focused today on the continued Supreme Court confirmation hearings for Judge Amy Coney Barrett. Here is a sample of those headlines. Barrett declines to detail her views, but says she won't be Trump's pawn. She flatly refused to pledge that she would recuse herself if an election dispute came before the Supreme Court. Also, Barrett says her past criticisms don't signal how she would vote. And Barrett told senators she would not impose her personal views on the law as she sidestepped questions about abortion rights and said she isn't hostile to the Affordable Care Act and gun control. In other news, from the Los Angeles Times, for years Republicans across the country have decried the use of so-called ballot harvesting, arguing that laws that allow a third party to collect voters' completed ballots serve as a breeding ground for election fraud. Now, California's GOP is defending its use of the very ballot collection law it once sued over. In recent weeks, gray metal containers labeled as ballot drop boxes have been placed at various locations, including gun shops, shooting ranges, churches, and Republican Party offices. California Republican Party officials have acknowledged responsibility for the boxes and have rejected allegations of wrongdoing in defiance of what the state's top election official and attorney general say is an illegal practice. From the Wall Street Journal, group discussed kidnapping Virginia Governor Ralph Northam. An FBI agent testified that the men charged with plotting to kidnap Michigan's governor also discussed abducting Virginia Governor Ralph Northam. And from National Public Radio, Supreme Court allows Trump administration to end census counting on October 15th. The Trump administration can end counting for the 2020 census early after the Supreme Court approved a request to suspend a lower court order that extended the court's schedule. The High Court's order on Tuesday, following an emergency request the Justice Department made last week, helps clear the way for President Trump to try to alter the count while in office by excluding unauthorized immigrants from the numbers used to reallocate congressional seats and electoral college votes until the next census happens in 10 years. And finally, in our look at the top headlines, here are the stories that are crossing the wire at Reuters News. The U.S. Justice Department on Tuesday accused the author of a tell-all book about First Lady Melania Trump of breaking her non-disclosure agreement and asked a court to set aside profits from the book in a government trust. Also, Eli Lilly and Company said on Tuesday that the government-sponsored clinical trial of its COVID-19 antibody treatment, similar to the one taken by President Trump, has been paused because of a safety concern. And the state of Texas on Tuesday lost its bid before a U.S. appeals court to reinstate a law that would have effectively banned the most common abortion procedure used by doctors for terminating second trimester pregnancies. Finally, from Reuters News, hot, dry conditions and intense wind across California are threatening to reinvigorate what has already been the worst fire season in state history. And those are your top headlines for today. To put us all in a better mood after those headlines, we now present our top 5 joke countdown. As usual, bringing us the countdown is my friend Billy Cunningham. Billy is a comedian who goes by the stage name Potbelly. And here's Billy.
Thank you, Jason. From my studio here in Sweetwater, Appalachia, this is Billy Potbelly Cunningham. By the way, for those of you who live in Little Compton, Rhode Island, on October 19th, I will be performing stand-up at the Flying Wiener Dog, Little Compton's only pet-friendly trampoline park. Hope to see you there. Now, on to our jokes. My intern Penny is handing me the joke cards for today. She gets these jokes from Reader's Digest, and as an up-and-coming comedian, she often rewrites a few to make 'em even funnier. So, let's see how she done. And looking at the cards for today, it looks like our category is food jokes. Oh, baby, here we go. Number 5. This card says, what has T at the beginning, T in the middle, and T at the end? Answer, a teapot. Okay, that wasn't very funny. So, since we're talking about food, I want to take a moment to let everybody know that I did finally get my cookbook published. This is serious, folks. It'll come out on Thursday the 22nd, next Thursday. And the name of the cookbook is Crisco, a microwave, and a whole lot of fun. I know it's a funny name, but it's a serious cookbook. So, anyways, sorry for the shameless plug. Moving on to the next joke. Number 4. Which dessert is perfect for eating in bed? Answer, a sheep cake. Oh, man. Well, since that joke wasn't funny either, I'm going to keep talking about my cookbook. The book is about how to fry food in a microwave. Genius, right? Yeah. I was inspired by the fried foods that I saw at the Texas State Fair. I was doing stand-up there, and when I got home, I had cravings for that food, but all I had was a microwave. So, I decided that there should be a fried food cookbook for microwaves, right? Yeah. Okay, Penny, okay. She's waving her hand, saying we gotta move on. Okay. Oh, jeez. Number 3. What do you call cheese that is sad? Answer, blue cheese. So anyway, the recipes that I have in this book are great. They include the fried pizza, fried Pop-Tarts, fried cookie dough, chicken fried bacon, and even fried watermelon. Yeah, spoiler alert, the key to that recipe is taking out the seeds before frying. Yeah, okay, moving on. Number 2, when do you go at red and stop at green? Answer, when you're eating watermelon. Hey, it's a watermelon joke. And I just told everyone about my fried watermelon. That's cool. Wow. And our number 1 food joke of the day. This just in. A woman in Hot Coffee, Mississippi. And that's a real place, folks. Google it up. The woman reported that she found a way to burn 10,000 calories in just 20 minutes. How'd she do it? She forgot to take the brownies out of the oven. Yeah, okay. That one was funny. Well, those are your jokes for today. I'm glad we had a little time together this morning, and I look forward to our time together tomorrow. In the meantime, be kind to others, be good to yourself, and keep on smiling. This is Billy Potbelly Cunningham signing off. Over and out.
And there you have it, folks. Billy and his top 5 countdown. Thanks, Billy. And now we return to the news. From the world of science and technology, Science Magazine reports the U.S. plans to put the first woman and the next man on the lunar surface in 2024 in a project called Artemis, which will also focus on developing a permanent presence on the moon. Given this goal, a set of rules and regulations for working in space has been developed, and it is called the Artemis Accords. They cover areas such as the utilization of resources, mining water ice for drinking water and to make rocket fuel, and common standards for nations to work together that include safe operations, sharing data, and providing emergency assistance. Countries that have signed America's Accord so far include the United Kingdom, Japan, Australia, Canada, Italy, Luxembourg, and the United Arab Emirates. Also in science and technology news, from USA Today, Blue Origin, Amazon owner Jeff Bezos' space company, test launched a rocket on Tuesday that the company hopes will play a role in getting people and supplies to the moon as NASA plans a new agenda for moon landings starting in 2024. Like the rockets designed by SpaceX, the company owned by Elon Musk of Tesla, Blue Origin's rockets are reusable. On Tuesday, the rocket that was launched made it to the edge of space before ejecting its capsule and returning to Earth in a controlled fall and vertical landing. The capsule, which had deployed its parachutes, fell to the ground, landing safely on the desert floor. The launch was seen as a great success. And our final article from Science and Technology News, the BBC reports that Apple has unveiled its new iPhone 12 and is making the jump to 5G. Apple iPhone 12 models will be the first to work on faster 5G networks. There has also been a cosmetic refresh to the phones this time around, with the sides of the devices getting sharper and flatter. In terms of models, the new Mini has a smaller 5.4-inch screen, and the Pro model will get bigger screens than before and a new sensor to help with low-light photography. One big change: for the first time, none of the devices will be bundled with headphones or a charger. Apple said the move was to help reduce its impact on the environment. And those are your science and technology headlines for today. In health news, CNN reports that a Dutch woman has died after catching COVID-19 twice, the first reported reinfection death. The elderly Dutch woman has become the first known person to die from catching COVID-19 twice, according to experts, raising serious questions about how long immunity and antibodies can last. Also in health news, National Public Radio reports that Facebook has banned ads discouraging vaccines in its latest effort to crack down on misinformation. Facebook said on Tuesday it will ban anti-vaccine ads following widespread pressure on the social network to curb harmful content. Under the new global policy, the company will no longer accept ads discouraging people from getting vaccines, ads that portray vaccines as unsafe or ineffective, or ads claiming that diseases vaccines prevent are harmless. And that is your health news for today. Now, we take another break from the headlines for today's Words of Wisdom. To present this segment is Dr. Albert Feinstein, my philosophy professor from college. And here is Dr. Feinstein.
Thank you, Mr. Van Sickle. Hello, and welcome to today's Words of Wisdom. Today's Words of Wisdom are from the ancient Greek philosopher Heraclitus, who said, "One cannot step twice in the same river." This is true both literally and figuratively. Since a river is always flowing, you can never step twice in the same water. In the figurative sense, it means that time is always flowing and the world is always changing around us. So, we can never repeat the same exact circumstances of the past. With each new instance, the past is gone forever, like flowing water down a river. This is good, because it means that each new moment brings us a new world filled with new opportunities. And those are your words of wisdom for today. Until next time, keep seeking wisdom and believe in your incredible potential. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Feinstein. We appreciate your words of wisdom and your encouragement. Now, we return to our review of the day's news. In entertainment news, we start with new movies, and today's movie is Trump Card, starring Dinesh D'Souza. This movie falls into the category of documentary, and here is the description from IMDb. Written and directed by Dinesh D'Souza, Trump Card is an expose of the, quote, socialism, corruption, and gangsterization, unquote, that now defines the Democratic Party. Whether it is the creeping socialism of Joe Biden or the overt socialism of Bernie Sanders, the film reveals what is unique about modern socialism, who is behind it, why it is evil, and how people can work together with President Trump to stop it. Trump Card is now available to rent on YouTube. Moving on, we look at newly released shows, and today's show is The Haunting of Bly Manor. This series falls into the categories of drama, horror, and mystery. And here is the description from IMDb. A young governess is hired by a man to look after his niece and nephew at their family country house after they fall into his care. Soon after arriving at the Bly estate, she begins to experience strange occurrences and a grim history starts to unravel. The Haunting is now available on Netflix. Finally, in our entertainment news, we take a look at newly published books. And our book for today is Battleground by Jim Butcher. This book is presently number 2 on the New York Times fiction bestseller list. Here is a summary of the book from Amazon.com. Things are about to get serious for Harry Dresden, Chicago's only professional wizard, in the next entry of the number 1 New York Times best-selling Dresden Files. Harry has faced terrible odds before. He has a long history of fighting enemies above his weight class, especially the Red Court of Vampires. But this time is different. A being more powerful and dangerous, on an order of magnitude beyond what the world has seen in a millennium, is coming. And she's bringing an army. The last Titan has declared war on the city of Chicago and has come to subjugate humanity, obliterating any who stand in her way. Harry's mission is simple but impossible. Save the city by killing a Titan, and the attempt will change Harry's life, Chicago, and the mortal world forever. Battleground is now available in print at your local bookstore, and it is also available in print, Kindle, and audiobook formats on Amazon. And that concludes our entertainment news for the day. As always, we end our broadcast with a look at what we call Happy News, and here is your Happy News story for the day. From Spectrum News Channel 13 in Palm Bay, Florida, comes a story titled Everyday Hero, Palm Bay Woman Gives Out Birthday Gifts. Patricia Diaz is retired. She is not wealthy, but she did decide that in her retirement she wanted to do something to show kindness to people, especially during the COVID-19 pandemic. So, back in May, when she had her own birthday, she decided to start making holiday birthday gift baskets for children of struggling families. Now, creating gift baskets for children is her mission. So far, she has given out 184 baskets of gifts to children who otherwise would have gotten little or nothing for their birthdays. Friends and neighbors have now started to call Patricia the Gift Fairy, and people are donating gifts to her effort through Facebook. Diaz told Channel 13 News, quote, "This is our retirement, and what better way to spend it than helping kids?" And that is your news for October 14th, 2020. Have a wonderful day.